Hello everyone and happy Friday. Before we share my analysis from these last few days, please remember that neither I nor the SIMETRI team from Crypto Briefing are licensed financial advisors. What we provide is not a personalized investment advice. It is merely our opinions based on our various research and diligence. As always, do your own research before making any decisions about buying or selling crypto.
So let's get to the interesting part, and we'll look at Bitcoin, and then we'll have an in-depth look at Ethereum, and then we'll get to the other parts of the webinar. So first of all, the key technical update. So 53,000 was a key downside level. That's obviously held nicely, key swing area, and we are where we are now in the market. We've got a new monthly pivot point today. So December, 1st of December, we get a new monthly pivot point, and it's 59,843. That could be an area that the market could gravitate towards to. I haven't got anything in front of me at the moment looking at any charts or tickers, so I don't know where Bitcoin is trading, but that could be a potential target for the market today, the new monthly pivot point, because we've moved above the former monthly pivot point. So, those would be key support and resistance until we see a break from those areas. That could be potentially the range that we see the market carve out. The current weekly pivot point, so we came down there on Monday, basically tested that, not quite, not perfectly, but nearly 55,884. And at the moment, for me, the key upside targets are 59 and 60,000. I'm not looking past them too much intraday, but if we were to get past them, then 67,000 would be my top of my list as a breakout run to area. With 62.4, probably a little bit of a pit stop on the way. Daily price closes above 59,000 will be a bullish signal, as I'm about to show you now. So let's get to the technical analysis for Bitcoin. So last week, we were surmising that Bitcoin was basically looking to dip towards the 53,000 area, and that happened very, very nicely. So not only did we get a retest of this former swing high, but this key trend line as well in the market. So we've popped down towards that area, and obviously we've done what we've done, and Bitcoin has reversed back nicely. So that played out, I would say, almost perfectly. And also we're looking at this wedge, testing towards the bottom of the wedge. It's obviously tested that multiple times, and now we're testing towards the top of the wedge. So what we need to pay close attention to now is the top of the wedge. If we can close above there around the 59,000 level, then I would say that the size of this wedge is most certainly projecting a move towards the 65 to 67,000 area in the short term. Another thing to watch out for, and it's been a bit of a gem this year, and that's the Parabolic Str Indicator. It's not always perfect. It does sometimes issue false signals, but there will be a buy signal in the market tomorrow from this indicator if we can close a daily candle above 59,000. If we can close a daily candle above there on a consistent basis, then I strongly believe that this market is headed much, much higher. If we have a look at some of the technical challenges that Bitcoin faces, it's mainly focused around the 60,000 level. So we've got that 50-day moving average. Do remember that once Bitcoin started to lose the 50-day moving average, it's been a bit of a downward slide. So we need to get above that kind of 60,000 area. And also the infamous alligator indicator that I always look at, we kind of in the shaky zone until we get above that as well. So again, we really need to see some strength above 60,000, and then I think it's going to be plain sailing. I think the scary part for anybody who short this market is that this indicator has not even started to issue a buy signal yet. So if you look at the kind of moves that it's made when it started to issue a buy signal, if we were to see some strength above 60,000 and we was to get a buy signal, then 75 to 80,000 is very much on, in my opinion. So do bear that in mind over the next few days, and also 59,000 at top of the wedge pattern. If we have a look at more evidence of 67,000 incoming, we've got this nice inverted head and shoulders pattern that is taking shape. And I think if we break above, as I say, the top of this pattern, which comes in around, the neckline comes in around 60,000, then we can see obviously the target of this pattern probably being met. For anybody who likes long-term projections, and what I discussed earlier regarding the total market cap, this is again something of a medium to longer term call, and this is what I believe is going to happen. So we've been looking at this trend line over the last few weeks, and I strongly believe that this is what the market is looking at. So this comes in at around 75,000. So If we were to move up towards that area, depending on what the total market cap looks like, if we were to get to $75,000 and the total market cap was at 3.6 trillion to 3.7, then I would suspect that would be it. And this would be a big reversal point. If we break past it, there's just another scenario here where we move towards 80,000, and then I believe we're going to get a big drop from there. So it's either in between these zones and then a big drop, and that is really what my chart is telling me. But interestingly, and I guess most excitingly going into Christmas, is that this chart at the moment, strong indications that as long as we're holding above this support zone here, then we're almost certainly going to get a bit of a Christmas rally for Bitcoin. So exciting times ahead in the short term, and over the medium term, I'd say get ready for lots and lots of volatility. If I were to summarize it, I would say last week we were hoping for a move down towards the 53,000 level, and a big reversal happened. So we can check that one off. 59,000 and daily close above there is bullish. And also we've got that parabolic SAR that's going to confirm that for us over the next few days. We do have this large untested trend line that I just showed you lurking around 75,000. I think it's going to act like a magnet to Bitcoin over the next few weeks. So do bear that in mind if you are thinking of trying to short the market. I believe once we get past 60,000 and we start to really look strong above there, 67,000 looks very good for me. And this makes sense as well because it's also a former all-time high. The crypto total market cap, it definitely shows a range coming up over the next quarter or so of around 1.8 to 3.6 trillion. So do bear that in mind in your analysis. It's definitely in the forefront of my analysis as well. Okay, so let's get to Ethereum. So Ethereum, we do have a challenge going on now towards the all-time high. So if we were to able to break above the current all-time high and set a new all-time high, that would obviously invalidate this pattern here, and that would then set a nice target of around about $7,000 which comes up in other forms of analysis as well. Something that I really like on the daily time frame is that we are popping above the Williams Alligator indicator and the Parabolic SAR indicator. As long as we're trading above $4,500, it's also flashing a nice buy signal now. So it's somewhat ahead of Bitcoin, and I can understand why some people are getting excited about Ether BTC, but I will say it again. I think the majority of the gains are going to be made in Ethereum US dollar and BTC US dollar. So I'm not excited about Ether BTC at all at the moment. And obviously bear in mind what I've said to you earlier. So I think this makes sense to me a lot more. And you'll also see here that this is issuing a nice buy signal. Hence why, this is a crypto to get excited about at the moment, because I think it's going to probably vastly outperform a lot of other top crypto. So if we have a look, similar to Bitcoin, we've got this key trend line that we've been looking at over the last few weeks, again, acting like a magnet to the market. First time it hit it, it got rejected. So could Bitcoin do that and then come up and retest it? Absolutely. So do bear that in mind, but that comes in now around about where the current all-time high is. So watch that over the next few days. If we break past that level, then that would be a key breakout point for the market. And I think as well, something that we were looking at last week was this head and shoulders pattern, which has been invalidated. So we've almost perfectly come down to test that right-hand shoulder, and we've bounced back up. So don't be surprised if we come back down one final time to test ahead of the pattern, just to confirm this. And this comes in around 4370. So there may be final hope for the market, for Ethereum to buying into this dip one more time before it starts to probably go above 5,000. So that's a scenario that I'm looking at. And again, if we were to look at this pattern in more detail, the exact target of the invalidated pattern comes in at about 7,038. And, if we just give a rough target of 7,000, that does appear to me where the market is going to be headed more than likely over the next few weeks. So let's break that down. Ethereum survived the attack below the 4,000 level recently, and it looks like it's going to be attacking towards its all-time high. The Parabolic SAR and Williams Alligator indicators are currently both flashing buy signals. 3,600 is still missing on my chart, as I highlighted last week, which could hint of a big pullback from 7,000, but that's somewhat in future. So let's get to 7,000 first and take a look. So it obviously remains the big target on the chart. A final dip towards the 4,380 area, it could be the final huge buying opportunity for Ethereum.
And thank you. I hope you found my thoughts helpful. If you'd like more, please click the subscribe button for Pro BTC Trader and join me every week on Wednesdays for our live trading war room and daily email updates.